I will send it to
I-
her.
I just hit the link off the text, so that one was working.
That's the one I sent.
Yep. It worked. I just clicked on it just now. So good morning, everybody.
How's it going?
Good morning.
Rock and roll, man.
7:59. We're about to get rolling because we have a tight schedule.
Right.
Perfect. 8 o'clock. We had a meeting scheduled at 8 o'clock, and it's 8 o'clock, so we're going to get started. How's everybody doing this morning?
Great.
Great.
Fabulous.
Perfect. That's wonderful. So we have a ton of news and value to bring you guys today. So I'm going to hand the mic virtually over to Kimmy Roberts and Tracy Jones, if she's in here, so that they can share with you what's going on with culture and specifically about Red Day.
Okay, I haven't looked for Tracy, so I'm just going to go ahead. Red Day is coming up. It's 3 weeks from yesterday, so we're looking at Thursday, May 14th. We have decided to shift our focus a little bit because of COVID, because of social distancing. So what we've got in place is for everybody to be able to give where they are, given their community, reach out to their sphere, to their database, to their current clients, past clients. We will have a list of goods, needs items, and we're gonna distribute these items to Habitat for Humanity. We're also going to support Youth on Their Own, Z Mansion, and the Community Food Bank. So we've got non-perishable food items, we've got personal toiletry items, personal care items that all of these different nonprofits can utilize and give out to the people that they serve in our community. What does this allow you to do? You can do social distancing door knocking. You can send flyers out to your spheres. What is Red Day gonna look like? Right now, we have it set up to utilize the church that we used for Bold and that we used for Friendsgiving. We're about 90% sure that that location is gonna happen. And on Red Day, on Thursday, on Thursday, May 14th, we're going to be set up in the parking lot at the church so that as you implement these items and you have people that are saying, you know, yes, I'll give, come pick them up, that will be your drop-off day. And you can drop off to us at the church, social distancing in place so that nobody is going to be impacted by having too many people or having to come in contact with too many people. We're going to be set up throughout the day that day until about 3 o'clock in the parking lot so that you can drop off all items. And then we will go through and we will distribute to the nonprofits that we're giving to, depending on what the items are that are coming in. Now, this flyer is going to go out, I'm gonna say by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. And this will allow you to start implementing this in your networking right now. So you can start picking up anytime from tomorrow on, or you can do a big pickup day specifically on Red Day and bring it to the church. We are not gonna be prepared to take the items from you until Red Day. Now, Red Day shirts are gonna be available. We will have, Cindy Powell sent a link out yesterday asking who wants a Red Day shirt. Now, the Red Day shirts represent this year. They represent that we are doing this through COVID-19. And we have a sponsor for the shirts this year. So Catalina Title is also on the shirt. So it's a great thing to have on that day. If you want a shirt, please see the link. Cindy's, you're going to continue to send that out throughout the weekend, right?
Right, it'll go out this after this meeting.
Okay. And we do need to know who wants a shirt by Monday so that we can have everything ready for you to pick up to have your shirt on Red Day. I believe the shirts are, what did we say, Cindy, $10?
They're 15.
Thank you.
Yeah.
$15. And if that is something that you want, but maybe you're a little tight financially, thank you, then like I said, we have a sponsor, so we can help those who need a shirt, but maybe aren't able to purchase one on their own. More information is going to continue with the details, with the lists of goods that we can ask for. And there's plenty of people out there that are going to want to contribute, and there's plenty of people out there that maybe are still going to want to just do something monetarily and not have to go and pick up items. So we can still accept that. There's some of the nonprofit needs are actually gift cards. So if you get money donations, monetary donations, we can purchase those gift cards for you if that's something else that you would be more comfortable with. Tracy, really quickly, is there anything else on Red Day that you wanted to share? I saw you come on. Okay, so silence, I'm gonna guess, is a no. The other thing that I wanted to—
I was on mute, sorry.
Thank you.
No, so it looks, I mean, everything is kind of coming together. Obviously, this is different than what we had planned originally. But I think that, you know, all the donations that we're going to be doing, we're really going to be making an impact in some places that need it. So, you know, we're working in a different way this year, but we're definitely going to be putting everything into Red Day as much as we can. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. If anybody has any questions on Red Day, please feel free to email me, email Tracy, call us, text us, but also reach out to leadership, because both Heather and Cindy and JV and KLP are completely up to date with all of the information. Jay has all of the information, and we're keeping David informed. So we can absolutely answer any questions that come up as we continue to go out. And I'm going to use some examples because I know they won't mind. If you have any questions on how to implement these opportunities into your business in the next couple of weeks to be able to collect items for Red Day, reach out to Anthony Sotelo, reach out to Jason Carlton. These two men have really tapped into their communities, their databases. They've reached their connections at a high level. Anthony actually shared some stories about bringing goods to people in his neighborhood. So if you're curious about how to implement this, we've got plenty of people out here making it happen, and we're happy to share what's working for us. The other thing that I want to just quickly highlight is the week before Red Day, so the first week of May, 2 weeks from this week, May 5th, Tuesday, and May 7th, Thursday, we are doing another mobile blood drive at JV on the 5th and at KLP on the 7th. So those links are available. Donna and I will share those today. Donna Reed and I will share those today. If you have anybody in your sphere, if you want to donate, other agents want to donate, we want to make sure that that opportunity is available to them, because of course the Red Cross is still in dire need of blood, and it's a free donation. You just have to give 30 minutes of your time. Again, those links will be available, and those are the updates we have right now. Jay, unless there's anything else.
No, that's great. I would really caution you guys and recommend that you dig deep. I believe this Red Day, we are going to be able to help our community in a deeper, more meaningful way than ever before. That's just my personal opinion. There is such need, and we can really hit those needs quickly. So very excited about that. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kimmy and Tracy. We appreciate you guys and your leadership. David Jones, I'm going to hand the ball to you.
All right. So guys, I am really excited about what we're going to be doing next year, and very honored to have probably one of my favorite people, actually my personal Bold coach on here. And as you can see behind me here is we got Bold Pivot coming up, and Pat's going to go through it, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the incentives first. Is that everybody knows that we've had the KWSA Cares plan in place. Please make sure you go to kwsacares.com and you can see the details of it. Phase 1 is obviously immediate relief. Phase 2 is going to be around what we're talking about right here. And phase 2 is going to be, if you sign up for Bold Pivot the month of April, $99, you're going to get your $40 office bill waived in May. And then also you have, if you do $100 in Facebook ads through Command, you're going to get your June office bill paid. And then we'll be coming out with phase 3 as well. And I know yesterday I walked in the office and I signed some checks of some of those CARES checks coming back. So without further ado though, I want to go ahead and introduce my personal coach, my Bold coach, Mr. Pat Mancuso. Pat, you on?
Hey, I am, David. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for inviting me in today. And I'm just going to, we've got limited time today together, and there's a lot of things that I want to cover. So first, I want to thank David, obviously. I've known David for a long time, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to work with him, and also Jay and Dab and all of your leadership team today. And I want to thank all of you for being here. And so I've got 3 intentions for our call today. We're going to move very quickly. First, we're going to have some fun. What are we going to have?
Some fun.
Okay, now,
Fun.
you guys, I'm going to be really transparent with you. I'm zoomed out. I don't know about you all. I am absolutely zoomed out. Raise your hand if you're zoomed out. Yeah. Now, I want to help you today because, frankly, we're going to communicate like this moving forward for quite a bit of time. So first thing I want you to do is, would you grab a piece of paper? Do me a favor, grab a piece of paper. Because what I want to do is I want to give you some opportunity to really take advantage of these Zooms, because they're not going to go away, at least in the near future. The reason that I want you to have a piece of paper every time you come to one of these is I want you to write things down. Here's why. How your brain works and my brain works is that if you don't write it down, you won't remember it. And if you don't write it down, you won't take the right actions. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do in these Zoom calls so you can absolutely maximize the opportunity is take yourself off mute. If you're in an area where you don't have background noise, take yourself off mute, because what that'll do is create a different energy level on the call. And the third thing that I'm going to ask you to do anytime you're on one of these Zoom calls is take your camera and make sure it's on. Here's why, because here's the first thing that I want you to write down. Write this down. Everything's about energy. Everything's about what?
Energy.
And see, when you just responded that way, that creates a different level of energy. The reason why I like your cameras all on is that you get to see everybody's energy. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit, and I'm seeing some faces here, and they'll probably remember this. There used to be a game show called the Hollywood Squares. How many of you ever remember the Hollywood Squares?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually go back to look at your screen right now, it looks like the game show, the Hollywood Squares, right? You had all these great people. And so what I want to do is I want to do something like in the Hollywood Squares. I want you to look to the square to your left and look to the square to your right, and I want you to smile at them. So go look, I'm looking at Kimmy and I'm looking at Jay. Hey, Jay, how are you doing? Hey, Kimmy, how you doing?
Hey, David. Hi, Teresa.
Hey,
Colleen.
Guys, did that change the energy level, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And here's the thing, 50%, guys, when you write something down and you're engaged in this process, 50% of the time you're going to have results by simply writing it down. And when you write it down and you take action, 90% of the time you're going to have success. So that's just a little tidbit on these Zooms, because guys, here's the thing, and I know for Jay and David and Stephen McNair's on this, we're doing a ton of these Zooms and we're giving so much energy, and it's always awesome to get a little bit of energy back.
Yeah.
Is that fair enough?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 3 intentions that I have for us today. The first one is the following. I'm going to contribute to you and add some value through coaching. We're going to talk about Bold Pivot, and then I'm going to have some time at the end, we hope, to answer some questions. So, is there a lot of things happening right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And guys, we're at a time where people go, oh my gosh, this is such a different time. And in actuality, it's not really. And here's what I mean. I've been in real estate for 2 significant shifts. The first one was 9/11. The second one was the financial collapse of 2008, 2009. Although the circumstances are different, here's what I want you to write down. I want you to write down something happens. And ladies and gentlemen, in our world today, this is happening every second of our life. Today, this place is closed. Tomorrow, it's open. Today, this person is healthy. Tomorrow, they might not be. It's not what happens, you guys. It's how we respond. I want you to write that down. So something happens, and then you respond. Now, the challenge for us as human beings is we can't control the first response. You might want to write that down. We can only control what we do after we have the awareness. Guys, right now, some people are going into cocoons. Some people aren't in reality. Gary says, get real, get right. Some people aren't doing the activities that they need to do because they don't feel like it. In Bold Pivot, we're going to take you through an exercise called the control exercise. And what I'm doing right now is just sharing a little tidbit of that exercise. Write this down. You control two things when you're aware of them. First, your mindset. You control how you think should you choose to. The second thing you control is what you do after that. Ladies and gentlemen, people in every market are going to need your services, and they're going to need professional services. Things happen, families grow, families shrink, people lose their jobs. That's not a good thing, yet they need a professional real estate agent. And guys, there are stories across the country, people selling more homes right now than they ever did. Then there's parts of the country where right now they're shut down. Only you can control what you do in your market. Are you with me? Say yes.
Yes.
Now, the biggest thing that we all should be doing right now every day is what? Who could tell me?
Lead gen.
We should be contributing to our database through a conversation. And yet we might have a little bit of a mindset issue, a little bit of a fear, a little bit of uncomfortableness around this because we don't know what they're going to say. Maybe we don't know what to say. So I'm going to do a quick role play. I'm going to ask Stephen to role play with me. I'm just going to give you what we're going to talk about in bold. We're going to give you a number of market of the moment scripts, yet this is just a care call. Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Hello, this is Steven.
Steven, Pat Mancuso calling from Calvin's Realty. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, Pat. How are you?
Well, I'm great, Stephen, and thanks so much for asking. Now, Stephen, I've been reaching out to a lot of people in my database. I call it my community, and I've been asking them that question, and most of them initially say they've been doing great. And so, Stephen, is everything okay? Is everybody healthy?
Yes, actually, we are all very healthy. Thank
Awesome.
goodness.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that, Stephen. I'm also asking my database if there's anybody that they know or themselves who need any type of help of any type. Do you know anybody who might need some help?
Well, that's really cool, Pat. Well, potentially my sister, she's getting tested for corona, so I mean, maybe just some prayers for that. Other than that, I don't think I know anyone right now.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much. And oh my gosh, we will certainly pray. In fact, we have a prayer group in our office where we take there's prayer requests coming in. So we'll make sure we add that to that. And would you do me a favor? Will you let me know how that turns out? And I pray that it turns out where she's very healthy and the test is negative.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. That's so cool.
Yeah, Stephen, there's one other thing I wanted to share with you. One of the things we've realized is we have kids at home, and I know you have kids at home, and we're homeschooling, and I didn't go to school to be a teacher, and I don't think you did as well,
Me
right?
neither, man.
Yeah, I
An
hear
adventure.
you. What we decided to do is we talked to somebody in our database in our community, and they're actually a tutor. And so we asked them if they would be willing to jump on a call every afternoon and be available for an hour to tutor to help any kids in our community with any schoolwork challenges. Would that be something of value to you?
Oh my goodness. Yes, that would be amazing.
Now,
Honestly.
and so yeah, and Stephen, I mean, we did it for myself and my kids. It was easier to do it that way, right, than for me to learn it. So
They won't
Stephen,
listen to me very well.
well, absolutely. So Stephen, one last thing is, do you know anybody in your community, your neighbors who might benefit from that as well?
Definitely. Actually, my neighbor really could use it as well.
So Stephen, all I simply need you to do is send me their contact information and I'll add them to the list of people that we notify. Now I'm going to stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, did I talk about real estate at all?
No.
No.
See, right now, Gary, write this down. Gary says this, it's service first, sales second. Service first, sales second. If you're not touching base with your database right now, somebody else will be. I can assure you. So I want to take you through one other little simple exercise, and then we're going to talk about bold pivot. I'm going to ask you to number vertically, up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do this very quickly, and this is not intended to make anybody wrong. It's only intended to bring clarity. What is it intended to bring?
Clarity.
Ladies and gentlemen, we care about you. You're part of David's world, and David's part of my world, and so is every agent in Keller Williams. So we care about all of them. First question is this. Number 1, I want you to write down how much pending income you have right now today. Pending, scheduled to close. No right or wrong answer. How much pending income do you have today?
And if you don't know it, put down the number you close as you know, and then look it up later.
And when I say pending income, that's your portion. Okay? Question. Now, if it's 0, what do I want you to write down?
Zero.
It's okay, guys. You can't change anything you've done up till today. You can only change what you're going to do moving forward. Question number 2. If you have pending income, I want you to take 25% off of that number. Why? Because in a shift, and have been through a shift a number of times, unfortunately, not everything is going to close because things are going to change. Mortgage rules are going to change. Somebody's going to lose their job. I want you to be real. Gary says, get real, get right. He says, prepare, hope for the best, and prepare for the worst. So we're going to prepare that some might not close, and if it does, if it all closes, fantastic. Question number 3. How much are your monthly personal expenses combined, business and personal? Car insurance, health insurance, life insurance, auto payment, rent, mortgage, and what are your business expenses? Just an approximate number. And then question number 4, the most important one. I want you to take line number 2, your answer in line number 2, divide it by the answer in line number 3, and that'll be how many months of income you have. No right or wrong, no bad or good, it's just a number. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why do I take you through that? Because Gary talks about we have to be real so we can get right. Here's the thing that I want you to write down. Write this down. It's a question. There's no wrong answer to it, just to bring clarity. Are you lead generating today? I'll say it a couple times. Are you lead generating today like you are out of business in, and draw a little line because you're going to fill in your number. Are you lead generating today like you are out of business in X months? And your answer for that line is the answer you had in line number 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing these Zoom calls across the country, and we've been doing them for about 3 weeks. I think we're hitting like 900 Zoom calls. The fact of the matter is most people, after doing this exercise, have an aha moment. How many of you have an aha moment? Say aye.
Aye.
Guys, here's the thing. The great part about this is you can change that today by thinking differently and making different decisions. So I've brought somebody that is an amazing interviewer to ask me a couple of questions as to why did we do what we just did? Well, we're going to talk about what the potential solution is for you. Stephen?
Yes, sir.
You have some questions for me, I believe.
Yes, I do.
Talk to me, brother.
Sure. Can I just share one thing before we jump into that, Pat?
Absolutely.
Really quick. So you didn't tell me we were going to do a role play, and we went right into that. And I loved it because a great role play turns into real play, which I think you've taught me as well. And so I just really appreciate that. That was really cool. And, I intend to use that moving forward. And I think everyone can. There were great questions just to connect with your database and just build a great relationship. Thank you.
It's just a conversation, you guys. We call scripts now in the Bold World conversations. So, Stephen, you were going to ask me a question.
Yes, I was. My bad. I'm back on track. Okay, Bold. Pat, will you tell us what is Bold Pivot, please?
Well, Stephen, thanks so much for asking. So you should all be able to see my screen. Bold Pivot is, first of all, Bold 2.0, incorporating Gary's 4 pivot points. Mindset. Did we talk a little bit about mindset in our call? Say yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we got to get our mindset right first to be able to take actions. We had a little conversation using 3 questions. How are you doing? Is everybody okay and healthy? And what could we do for you or anybody that you know? That's a script. It's a question, yet it was a conversation. We went through a model talking to you about expenses. All I did was fly over the surface. In Bold Pivot, we're going to go deep. We talked about doubling down on leads. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one thing. Gary wrote the book. We have to double down on leads. And let me say this. Guys, as this market shifts, as it is, real estate agents are going to get desperate. They're going to get what?
Desperate.
Now, guys, none of you on this call are going to get desperate because you are in a company that operates on a series of values. However, the other part of the industry, and I've seen it 2 times, they're going to get desperate. And if we don't stay in touch with our clients might be corralled by one of those people, and then they might be harmed by unprofessional real estate agents. That's why it's important that we stay in touch with our database and have these calls. In Bold Pivot, we're going to go into social media, 2-way texting, 2-way social media in the new world of communications. Guys, we're going to need to. As Bold coaches, and David's a Bold coach and Stephen's a Bold coach, we are like caged animals right now. We want to be out in the field. We don't want to be, I mean, totally serious, by the way.
Hey, Pat, my market centers are just waiting. They want Bull to get back on the road quick because I'm all over them.
Yeah,
My wife
it's
is
like,
saying
go
the
on the
same
road, David, go on the road,
Get on
David.
the road.
Yeah. So, and guys, that last one, oh my gosh, how amazing is Gary with the foresight. I don't think he planned on we were going to need technology to the level that we need it because of a pandemic, yet thank goodness that he has. Thank goodness that he has. So Bold is going to incorporate how to best utilize the database. Steven, I think you have another question for me.
Yes, sir. So Pat, tell us, when is Bold Pivot?
I'm so glad you asked, Steven. So Bold Pivot, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 3 Central, 2 to 4 Eastern, and I believe that's 11 to 1 your time, correct, David?
That is right.
Or Steven? Yep. Guys, these sessions are going to be streamed. This is kind of like we're streaming, and yet it's going to be streamed a little bit different technology. They're going to be recorded, and they're going to be stored on our Facebook page, so you can see them at any time. We're also going to have what we're calling a coach's corner on Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 to 3, same time, where coaches like Steven and like David and like myself, all of our coaches are all in on this. We're going to be answering questions, talking about ceilings and challenges, sharing successes as well. And then we also, as soon as you enroll, our private Facebook pivot page is, we've got, I think, what was the number you guys this morning? Like 12,000 or?
No, 17,338.
We have, so once you enroll, you're invited to the Bold Pivot page, and we're already contributing in that page. I think there was something else, Stephen, we needed to talk about.
Yes. So Pat, tell us, why is Bold so important for us right now?
Well, Stephen, here's the thing. It's important so that we can endure, we can survive and thrive in the circumstances that we're in today. We talk about who can sign up for Pivot. Ladies and gentlemen, the world should sign up for Pivot, and we actually have the world signing up for Pivot. Here's the thing. Here's the opportunity. Service first, sales second. Yeah, guys, we're in a sales business. We've got to produce sales to create income for our family. And make no mistake, there are sales out there. People need us right now. So we're going to sharpen our presentation skills. We're going to be presenting differently. We're also going to take market share. For those of you that were not at Keller Williams or not in real estate in 2008-9, the financial collapse, Bold was created to help our agents at that time. And the byproduct of Bold was we went from number 4 to number 1 in the market because of our production. And so then lastly, guys, Gary says it, service first, sales second is our mantra. We need to survive and thrive through these phases to continue to be strong in our personal priorities. One last thing, and then I wanted to open it up for questions because I think we've got about 2 minutes, I believe.
Perfect.
Gary said something the other day, guys, which really struck me, and it actually changed my thinking. I probably, like you, looked at what was going on in the world because I'm a human being just like you. My brain works just like yours. And I looked at it, and our Bold world has changed. Make no mistake, it's changed just like yours. Our income opportunity has changed just like yours. We're in the same boat. I was thinking for about 3 weeks I was going to have to change my life for the rest of the year. I decided I could make a different choice, and all I needed to do was change my what?
Thinking.
Thinking, and then I changed my what? My activities. Guys, there is plenty of opportunity out there. We're going to go get our unfair share, and with the right mindset and the right activities, and that's what Bold Pivot is about. So I want to ask you a question. I want to do this right now because I want to have some fun with you. We've got 131 people on the call. David, before we walked into this call, how many people did we have registered between the market centers?
It was around 29 combined. You got 2 market centers, about 400 agents, 29 as of yesterday. So I didn't get it this morning.
Okay, so let's just say it's 30. Okay, let's set a goal because Bold coaches set goals, right?
So do agents, right?
And so do agents. Let's set a goal right now based upon all we've talked about today, all we've covered. Let's see how many people we've moved to take action. Oh, by the way, one last thing. Do you know there are 2 common elements? There's about more than 2 yet. I'm going to give you 2 right now. Write these down. Highly successful people have 2 things in common. They have multiple things. The first one is they make a decision. They're very quick to make decisions. And then number 2, they take action. They take what?
Action.
So David, what would be a good goal for us to set right now to see how many people we've moved to take action?
Well, we got good incentives, and I got a lot of people I know that are doing it on here. So it would not surprise me if we had another 75 people just right now that are doing Bolt Pivot off of this call, maybe even higher, Pat.
So David, I didn't even tell you about this. This
No,
is
you
like
didn't.
for you because you're a good friend. I so appreciate being in a relationship with you. In the chat box right now, if you have
We
not
have the
enrolled in
poll.
Pivot,
Hey, Pat, we have the poll.
oh, we do. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I
Heather,
want
put
to
the
come
poll-
back and talk with you. Would you like me to come back? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I so love David because he's so an integral part of our team. I'm going to set you a little goal right now. We're going to see how this works in the poll. David, you said we were at 30. I'm going to go, let's get 50 more, so there's 80. We have 134 people on this call. If the poll gets to 80, that you're going to you're already enrolled or you're going to take action right now to enroll, I'll come back next week and talk with y'all. Fair enough? Or some other time. Would that be good?
Yeah, well, we got our
Yes,
team meeting
please.
next week, and we don't have a speaker yet.
I'll come back, David. We got to get to 80 right now, so put the poll up.
Like poll number 2, Heather.
Poll number 2, Heather. Here we go. If you were not registered before today and you are committed to register right now, yes or no or undecided. So let's just, just put yes if you were registered before and you're going to register right now. We need to get to 80, guys. So there, I registered. I'm going to register for your Pivot. Wait, I'm already registered. Okay, where's the poll results? Like, do we close the poll? So we're going to give it 10 more seconds. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, Heather?
Yes.
We're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big Dan's got it. Okay, Heather, where are we at? 62%? I got to get my calculator out. David, I think we did it.
Yeah, that'd be 62 at 100 times 134.
134, 62%.
83 people.
83 people.
Oh, we did it, Pat.
We did it.
Oh, shoot.
So guys, here's the deal. We got to have you
Coming
register
back.
by the end of business today. When do you got to register?
Business.
So everybody to make, you know me, very strategic. I made it very easy. In your text right now, you just got the link to sign up for Bolt Pivot.
You guys, you were amazing. I trust I added value. David, we're coming back next week. I'm excited.
All right, guys, give Pat some love. This guy's a big impact, a big influence in my life. Give Pat some love if you don't mind, guys.
Thank you so much. I love y'all. I
Thank-
love you're part of Kelvin's family. David, Steven, thank you both so much. Guys, I'm looking forward to coming back next week. You got to go get registered. Thanks so
Thanks for
much.
making me look, guys. Look good, guys. This is my coach, so thanks for making me look good. So, see ya.
Thank you, guys.
Pat. All right, take over, Jay and Lisa. I think we got Tom Heath. I saw him on there. I saw his pretty face. So go ahead.
Absolutely. I think Lisa may have gotten booted out of the Zoom, so she's relogging back in. So, Tom, I'm going to hand the virtual mic over to you.
All right, well, thank you very much for that. Imagine a 2-hour bus ride touring downtown 4th Avenue and Main Gate Square, talking about all the development, taking that 2 hours and condensing it into an hour presentation, and then taking that hour presentation and cramming it into 30 minutes. And that's what we're going to do today. So
you got this, Tom. You got it, buddy. I know you do.
This is going to be fast moving. Don't worry about taking notes. Today is about an overview of all of the economic expansion that's been underway in the downtown and urban area. We're excited about what's happening. We're a little unsure as to what's coming next. What we do know clearly is we can't control what happens. We can control how we respond. I just learned that. And we are going to be using that as we talk through it today. So I have a lot of information. At the end, I'm going to give you some ways that we can get a little bit deeper into this if you choose to. And I just want to bear with me here as I get set up for the show. Do I have the ability to share my screen at this point?
Yes, sir, you should.
All right, let's see here. Hopefully you are now seeing a slide.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're gonna get rolling here. My contact is there. I'll have information for you at the end. And again, we're gonna move very quickly. And I'm excited to to be doing this in this version. It's stretching my skill sets a little bit, and I'm excited to be doing that. Before I get into the presentation, though, I want to talk about something that Pat just brought up, and I think this is a great thing that we've been doing on our team as a conversation, because we always come from service first and sales second, and because of that, we are involved with this organization called Tucson Helping Tucson. This is a collaborative effort of large businesses, individual members, our artist and creative community, and we are raising funds for our Tucson small business community, which we know is suffering. A lot of what we're going to cover today is economic expansion and development. What this looks like on the other side will have a lot to do with what we choose to do today with our time and energy. So I invite you to check out the webpage, TucsonHelpingTucson.com, learn more about the effort, and maybe that could be a part of your conversations with your Tucson and area clients here. I hope you find some value in that. Our Facebook group, Facebook page, Instagram, and website, tremendous amount of information. It's fun, and it's entertaining, and it's helpful. So keep that in mind, TucsonHelpingTucson.com. So in the next 27 minutes, I guess at this point, we are going to talk about, first of all, what makes me want to be here to talk to you today. Where are the boundaries of this urban core? How did all of this happen? What's happened? What's underway? What's possible? And then we're going to leave you with the most important slide at the end, which is who can you follow to get more information about everything we're covering. So the first thing is, why am I here? I've been in Tucson 25 years, and until about 5 years ago, I had no idea how cool Tucson was. There was a story I saw of a cannon at a museum that fires off every second Saturday in the middle of downtown. An actual cannon fires off every second Saturday. After 25 years, I had no idea that existed. So I started this exploration of things in Tucson that I did not know, and that has led to a huge increase in my awareness. This is the cannon. It's at the Presidio Museum downtown, and you can see I'm not the only one interested in there. Tucson police checking it out, making sure it's okay. But it's at the Presidio Museum, which is right next to the YMCA, and they do a lot of interactive period 1770 type reenactments, and you can see they've got the soldiers firing off there as well. But what this did for me was it led to a lot of conversations in our community, and that helped me create a radio show that's still on today. It's been on since 2017, called Life Along the Streetcar. You can check that out on our webpage, Life Along the Streetcar. I got on the board for the Downtown Tucson Partnership, so I got invested with a lot of these businesses and helping to see what's shaping this area. And then just last year, we started a trolley tour for the economic development with real estate agents and the cultural development with our community. So we bring tourists into Tucson, put them on a bus, and we share what's special about our 4,200 years worth of continuous history. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I want to share with you today. What we're going to discuss, let's see if I can get my laser pointer working here. This is our basic urban core. We've got the Mercado, downtown, 4th Avenue, and the University. The streetcar runs along this line, and this is a lot of what we're discussing, and it's no coincidence that the urban core is connected to where the streetcar runs. A very quick timeline, though, as to how we got here. In 1999, voters passed the Rio Nuevo district, which is a tax incremental financing district where they collect sales tax along Broadway, and they turn that money back into economic and cultural development activities. Rio Nuevo has had a bad rap, but I will tell you personally, since 2013, I personally believe it has turned the corner and is doing remarkable things within our community. That's a topic for a different day. In 2006, we passed the Regional Transportation Authority, which had enough money for half the streetcar route, as long as we got federal matching funds, which no one really thought we were going to get. But then with the Great Recession, we had this term of the Tiger Grant, Transportation Infrastructure Generating Economic Recovery. And this was the term we heard back then was they were looking for shovel-ready projects to develop infrastructure and create economic recovery. Well, we went to the feds and said, we've got $65 million ready to go. We just need a matching grant and we can start tomorrow because we've already planned this out. The voters have already approved it. And we got our $65 million grant. And that's what led to the streetcar starting in 2014. That is a very fast overview of how we got to where we are. So let's talk about some of the change makers, the people, the pieces that started a lot of these trends and where, how they're impacting us today. One of the biggest ones was AC Marriott, first hotel built in downtown since 1970. Marriott was, there was a lot of criticism at the time that Marriott would do well inside of this area next to all these small locally owned businesses. AC is a brand that you see mostly in Europe, and there are a few in the United States. And what we know now is that it may not be exactly at this moment, but over the last several years, this brand, this AC hotel has been the top performing for the AC brand across the world. And we'll talk about why that matters as well. Another game changer, this was the first market rate apartments built downtown in some time. This is One East Broadway. This was built several years ago. Retail on the bottom, offices in the middle, housing at the top. And that is the model you're seeing for a lot of our current development. With the housing, we needed more groceries, so Johnny Gibson's opened up. It is a local boutique grocery store. They've gone through a few iterations to stay relevant. And what we now know is that Johnny Gibson's probably won't be large enough to serve the community as it grows, but it has been a tremendous bridge to get us from 2015 till the next session here in the next couple of years. Another game changer was the arena at the TCC. It was big for a few reasons. One, Rio Nuevo invested a lot of money to revamp this, and that paid off. It's brought larger concerts. It has brought hockey. We have the Roadrunners. It's brought football. We have the Sugar Skulls. And it brought the faith and belief from Rio Nuevo that if we build it, they will come, because they invested, it happened, and now that investment is paying off. And that was a big step as keeping Rio Nuevo in that path of developing in our community. And the last game changer we're going to talk about at the moment is Caterpillar. You probably know the story of this. We were competing with Denver. Denver, Colorado was our competition to land this corporation. And I will tell you that everyone in the country, including the employees at Caterpillar, thought they were going to Denver and were very surprised when they chose Tucson. Tucson had a lot to offer. People didn't realize that. But this was a game changer because corporations don't decide where they're going to go. They hire companies to decide where they're going to go. These are called site selectors. Those site selectors pick out the appropriate places across the country, and then they put corporations in contact with those communities and help develop those relationships. Caterpillar coming to Tucson changed site selectors' minds across the country. And soon after Caterpillar made their announcement, Tucson hosted site selectors for their annual conference. And then we got Amazon, and we got all kinds of things happening here. Game changer. So what does that lead to? Let's talk about the core of Tucson. At the center, this is a project, if you were walking out of this is underway, if you're walking out of the Tucson Convention Center's Music Hall, and you were to look to your left, you would have normally seen those very colorful buildings, La Placita Village. That has come down, and this is going in. This is a project that has 243 apartments. There's going to be retail and underground parking. It's a massive structure downtown. This is the view from the music hall. This is the view from Church Street. If you were heading south, you can see this is a little remnant of La Placita. This building still remains, but you can get a sense of what's going to be there. And this is the view from Broadway. If you're coming, or Congress, if you're coming underneath the little pedestrian walkway downtown, right across from all the county and city buildings, you'll remember they've got the little plaza here. This structure is already underway. And this building carved out here, this little tiny building, this is a very important piece. This is the original place where El Charro restaurant opened up. El Charro is the largest family-owned restaurant in the United States. It opened here in Tucson in 1922 by a woman named Monica Flynn. Fantastic story of that, which we'll get into on a different call, but not today. But Monica Flynn's family owned that building. That's where she opened her restaurant. And why that's important that they're saving that, and they're saving the gazebo, and they're saving the Samaniego house, and they're saving the stables, is because the developers recognize that this history and culture are important. It's so important that Monica Flynn, the namesake of El Charro, is the name of this entire 246 unit complex. It's called the Flynn. It's an homage to Monica Flynn and our heritage. The reason why that's important is because in the 60s, we didn't do that. We took down the neighborhoods to build the convention centers in La Placita. And if you've been down near the new fire station number 1, which opened a couple of years ago, you would see this statue. And this is public art. This is the city put this up, and this is a very telling statue because this is a mother, most likely her son, and they are pointing. And if you look at it from their perspective, they're pointing at the convention center. And the reason they're pointing there is because that's where their neighborhood used to be. And they're sad that it's gone. In fact, if you get close enough to the statue, you'll see that she is crying. So the idea that economic development is going to take down our community, that's going to destroy our culture and heritage, is a very raw feeling that still exists within our community. And so developers now, at least the successful ones in my opinion, are incorporating that history and that culture into the development and recognizing that where we're going is greatly tied to where we've come. So let's talk about some projects. We're moving fast. I don't know if you recognize this. This will be in Tucson here, probably in about, it's underway and it'll be in Tucson probably in about the end of 2021, should be completed. This is another hotel coming to downtown. This is the Hilton now with the Hampton Inn and the H2 Suites, extended stay and the more traditional overnight. If you're trying to place this in Tucson, here's the view from the other side, from the back side. This is the H2 Suites in Hilton. This is our cathedral, so now we can place it. It's on stone right across from the cathedral. This building here is the Scottish Rite. This picture was taken in January, so it's actually up about here now and well underway. This building is a community center that was built by the diocese and opened in 2018. It looks like this. It's operational. This amphitheater in the front was part of the parish hall that was torn down. So this multi-million-dollar structure was designed intentionally to incorporate this amphitheater to tie it to its parish hall. This has diocese offices up top, parish offices down below, and then a community center right through here. You can rent out the hall, you can have weddings and events, and it'll be right across the street from the new hotel. This area has been redesigned as a pedestrian thoroughway because right over here is the convention center. So you are a block away from the convention center if you stay at the new Hilton. This area right here, this is a stairwell that goes into the old Marist College. So if you were walking down Ochoa, you could come right in here and you would see this. This is no longer a college, it's senior housing and a community center. It's not a large facility, but the reason why it's important is because a couple of years ago it looked like this. And it now looks like this, and people are living in there. This was on the verge of collapse, and this building is sacred in Arizona because this is the tallest adobe structure in the state. And it was on the verge of collapse, but with private development, Rio Nuevo's help, it is now actively a senior center. So looking at a map, this is where the hotel is going to be. This is the Scottish Rite. This is the cathedral. This is where the hotel is going to be. This is where the new community center is. This is the Marist College. And this area here is really going to be starting to be referred to, you're going to hear this term a lot, Cathedral Square. You've got a lot of things happening that are connected to the church. Up here, you have the Marist, which used to be the diocese offices. Those came down, moved to the new center. And this is senior housing. It's got about 75 apartments for low-income seniors. That is on the corner. If we move over here to where the old Westerner Hotel used to be, that has been converted and will soon be office space and retail. This empty lot was converted into the West Point Apartments. Again, low income housing for seniors. There's 50 apartments in here. The idea is that they are right along the streetcar route. So if they need to get to the medical center, they just walk out their front door. They're on public transportation.
Very nice.
And they will get over to the medical center. So we are here with the Westerner Hotel. Across the street, kind of catty corner, is the tallest building in downtown, One South Church. This pad was originally designed to hold a twin tower, so the pad is here. So we're supposed to have 2 of those, but zoning requirements have limited them, and they've decided to go with something smaller. And they're going to put in the Rendezvous. This is going to be a high-end 104 apartments, 1,300 square feet at the top end, and 1,300 square feet is going to cost you about $3,000 a month in rent. So you can imagine what type of clientele they're trying to attract. There'll be retail on the bottom, little dining and cafe, very interactive space. That's called Rendezvous. You're looking at it from the view here as if you're standing at the Fox Theater. This is One South Church, and you're looking into that courtyard. That's the rendezvous. We're going to jump right over here to Hexagon Mining, which is City Park. This is that empty lot that was downtown for some time that Bourne Industries purchased for $1. A lot of controversy over that, but they have developed Class A office space, top to bottom here, with the very bottom floor being reserved for a food hall. The idea being upscale restaurants, somewhere between a food truck and a restaurant. Maybe they're a little incubator or a new concept for a restaurant to try out, and you'll get really good food, and you'll have the opportunity to sample many restaurants and kind of like a food court, but on the higher end. All these floors here were taken over by Hexagon Mining. Hexagon is a global corporation with many divisions. Their mining division had a presence in Tucson. However, they were going to move. They had announced that they were moving, and where were they going? Denver. Why were they going to Denver? Because Caterpillar is one of their biggest clients. When Caterpillar stayed, Hexagon said, well, we're going to stay. Not only did they stay, they converted this into their world mining headquarters. And up in this top floor, they have a virtual reality center, the Hexagon Experience Center, where you can actually, if you own a mine, they can recreate that mine, put 3D goggles on you, virtual reality goggles, drop you inside of your mine, and you can see how all of their equipment interacts within their mine. This is extremely high tech, very sophisticated, and it's in the heart of Tucson. They're bringing people in from all over the world. They're bringing in clients, sales folks. They are bringing in training. And where are those folks staying? The AC Marriott, one of the reasons why it's the top in the world. Then they got a really cool lookout deck here, by the way, where they host events. So from Hexagon Mining, we're going to go to this empty lot here, which is still an empty lot, but the pavement is torn up. They've done their archaeological surveys, and what is going to be there is some version of 75 Broadway. This is not what it's going to look like. It's gone through different iterations. This is a 12-story version. The most recent iteration probably will be closer to 20 stories. Half of it will be parking. There'll be residence, retail at the bottom, and office spaces probably in the middle, and residence at the very top. The interesting thing about this is the developers that are involved with this also own this historic block where the Chicago store used to be all the way down. So this new structure is not removing any of this history. In fact, they are connecting them through this alleyway to make this a historic and modern retail shopping destination. Across the street from that will be the Julian Drew Lofts. This is not underway yet, but it's proposed and planned. 44 apartments with retail on the bottom. And if you're trying to place that, this is what it looks like today. This is Charo Del Rey, Charo Steak, Carriage House, this empty lot, and we have a mural. This parking lot will become the Julian Drew Lofts. From the map perspective, this would be Julian Drew Lofts. This is Charo Steak. If you were to turn the corner on 5th, you have this structure here is completely gone and has been replaced with, it's been leveled out, because what's going in here is the Julian Drew Apartments. Julian Drew Apartments, these are underway, 96 apartments, 8 stories with ground floor parking. This is on 5th, just south of Broadway. We're going to leave downtown for a moment, but before we do, here's an iteration of a very big project underway, several years out, but they just cleared a big milestone with the federal government, and we'll have more to do on this later in the year and early next year. If you're trying to see where this would be, this is that same view right here. This is the Ronstadt Center. It's a transportation center. Because of that, federal funds were used, they had to approve the changes. It took several years, but the developers have that. So you're going to see, if you're coming down 6th, this is Toole. They have this pedestrian bridge that's going to cross over 6th, could potentially cross over the railroad tracks and connect the warehouse district on the other side. It's going to remain a transportation hub, retail, office, and housing, and the transportation still taking place there. Still to come, but it's a big project underway. We're going to take a quick jaunt to the University of Arizona to show you this project that's underway. This is the combination graduate hotel and collective apartment. I really don't know which one is which in the picture. I think this is the hotel, but the hotel has 165 rooms, and actually it might be there, but the apartments have 268 apartments. Both have roof deck pools, so I can imagine it's for shenanigans. This area, though, this is going to be meeting room and convention space, which is really going to open up the university's ability to host larger conferences. This is what it looked like in January. It's well underway. It looks much more complete than this. And if you're trying to place it, it's next to the Marriott there at in Main Gate Square. Proposed project for Speedway and Campbell. Looks like this right now, these two little hotels here, or two little apartments. This is Speedway and Campbell, the idea being probably a grocery store, retail, office space, maybe medical, and then housing at the top. Talk about actual condos there, but right now it's still looking like it could be apartments. And then if you are familiar with the area on Campbell and Helen is the eastern end of the streetcar route at this point. And that will make this another transportation hub. So that will be kind of the eastern entry into the urban core. Moving on along 4th Avenue, if we leave Main Gate and head down University, Time Market is here. This used to be a parking lot for the Presbyterian Church. It is now, this building is complete. It's part of the Trinity project. Office space at the top, El Rio Health, a primary care health facility on the bottom. So we actually have health on University for the first time in the area. The neighbors have a primary care facility in their neighborhood. It's a part of an overall project. This is the piece we just discussed. This is Time Market. This is the Presbyterian Church. Currently, this area is a school that's not used by the church, and that's going to come down. And this project, the housing portion of Trinity will come in. They've opened up this area. They will open up this area, and they're going to put all these trees in here to make it much more accessible and friendly environment. Zoning wise,
let me interrupt for just 1 second. We just got a message from the CE people. So if you are jumping onto the CE portion from 9 to 12, you need to leave this meeting and immediately go sign in, or there could be an issue with the credit. So if you are not part of the CE, we're going to stay here and we'll let Tom wrap up here in just a few minutes as he finishes up. But if you're doing the CE, you need to leave this meeting and move to the next meeting. Sorry about that, Tom. We just got an alert and it's like, oh, wait, no, now it's 5 minutes ahead of time.
All right, we'll get rolling here.
Yeah, give everybody 30 seconds to get out, and that way we won't have quite as much movement. And then again, if you're doing the CE, you need to leave this meeting and go to the link provided for the CE training. And yeah, I'm going to sign up, Tom. I was fortunate to be the director of accounting for the YMCA down at the Los branch.
Oh, nice.
So every afternoon, every day at lunch, I just walked around the city. And so a lot of these things, these pictures you're showing, I got to walk by and watch them do the construction. It's very exciting for our city. So I'm looking forward to doing the trolley tour with you as well.
Well, we'll set
I
something
think
up.
if everybody's out, you're good to go. Tom, you got, I'd say probably 10 minutes to wrap up, and then we'll let everybody roll.
Perfect. I will get done
Tom.
within 10 minutes. So if we move down 4th Avenue, this is 6th and 4th. This is a massive project that's underway. This used to be Plush and Flycatcher. This is going to be retail and housing. It spans from 4th to 5th Avenue. This is what it'll look like when it's done. If you're on the northeast corner, kind of looking to the southwest, this is 4th, this is 6th. And then this view is if you're standing maybe at the Food Conspiracy Co-op, kind of looking over. This is kind of what it looked like in January. It's underway. It's more progressed now, but you can see it's a massive, massive project. Farther down on 4th Avenue, the old Maloney's pad is scheduled for this huge project. This one will be apartments, 13 stories with 300 and some apartments, retail and parking. And if you're trying to place it, it's on the south end. You go underneath the bridge to get into downtown. There's the railroad tracks, the historic depot over there. And there's a lot of concern about what this will do to 4th Avenue, but the developers hopefully will be working with the neighbors to fit it in the best that they can. We're going to take a quick jump all the way to the west side here, past the freeway to the Mercado, just to catch you up over there. The West End Station is completed. This is market rate, or this is workforce housing. So the rents are tied to your income. This project here is the Monnier Apartments, named after Quintus Monnier, who had a pressed brick company on this site. This is going to be market rate apartments, the 122 or so apartments with retail and parking. This is underway, looked like this in January, should be completed later this year. This is the overall plan for the Mercado. This is the Monier. This is the West End Station. This is a parking. This is just dirt right now. This is the annex with the cargo containers converted into stores and restaurants. And this project, Batista just got city approval and Rio Nuevo approval to create a riverfront type of project with the amphitheater walking down to what potentially could be a flowing Santa Cruz, although there's questions on exactly what that will look like. Moving back over the freeway to the convention center, this is the TCC. You'll recognize this TCC portion here. The DoubleTree is underway. This is another Hilton that's going in downtown. This parking structure is not started yet, but will be in there. The DoubleTree looks like this today, actually in January, so it's even more complete. One of the beautiful things about the Rio Nuevo is their investment back in the community center. They had a lot of success with the arena, so they've announced $65 million to upgrade the TCC, which will include more meeting space, a high-tech meeting space, better restrooms and sound in the auditoriums. The Leo Rich will be redesigned, the theater. So they're doing a lot of investments in there, and they're going to do something with this plaza, this Ekbo Plaza. Garrett Ekbo was a landscape architect in the 60s and 70s, very highly regarded. But Tucson ran out of money and couldn't maintain this structure. So now it's just kind of a hazard, honestly, if you head over to the convention center. But soon it will flow with water as part of this $65 million renovation. So the music hall will be upgraded, the Leo Rich Theater will be upgraded, they'll have this plaza. And remember, you walk out of the music hall, you see this, and you look to your left, and you see that. That's what 2022 is probably gonna look like downtown at the convention center. The TCC is here. If we move south on Meyer, this is an empty lot, looked like that about 6 months ago. It's gonna look like this in about 6 months from now, or maybe a year from now. They're building townhomes, actual for sale, honest to goodness properties you can buy downtown, and construction is underway. Moving a little bit farther south, this is where I think the hotbed of activity is going to happen. This is an area called 5 Points. These arches are planned. You're actually gonna have all of the neighborhoods in the area will have arches that talk about the neighborhood. So you'll have 5 of those across the streets there. 5 Points is this intersection of Stone, 6th and 18th. There's housing here. These are 4 new bungalows. There's housing over here. There's 7 units going in. And right up here where the old Casa Vicente used to be, the restaurant has come down, and the restaurant and parking lot space is hopefully going to house Miramonte's honest to goodness condos. For the first time, we'll have condos to buy downtown. Everything else we've talked about are apartments. So this is a project that is underway planning wise, but has not started construction. We'll see how it goes. But coming back here to 5 Points, this empty lot has been converted into, taken out of the historical designation. It was traded for the Wansley Ugly But Honest corner here. This now is part of the Armory Park Historic. This area is not. And the Baffert will take this empty lot and turn it into apartments and retail with some parking on site. So that's the view from 18th Street looking to the west. And this would be the view if you were on 6th. So 18th Street and 5 Points. This area here, this is an old auto repair shop, and this is a historic bungalow. Kind of looks like this from the street level. This historic bungalow is going to stay, and it's going to be a part of this new project called 18 West 18th with single family residents and apartments. The bungalow probably will be a cafe or a shop. If you were to turn the corner on 6th, you would see the Flash TV project. This is going to take 3 or 4 buildings, combine them into one project with mostly housing and office space, probably some retail as well. And they're calling it the Flash because that's the Flash TV company was there. This will help you recognize, I think, the building itself with all of these appliance structure signs on there. The building has been fenced off, and they're starting to gut it, so the project is underway. And coming down a little bit farther, this is where the Flash will be. This corner here, 19th and 6th, currently looks like this with an auto repair shop and a little office space here. And what we potentially could see, Pueblo Vida has purchased that and in designing out a tap room and a brewery. So Five Point's under a lot of potential development, and I look at it probably like Menlo Park was in 2008 or 9, where you're probably going to see a rapid expansion in that area if things hold to form. So there's a lot of other things underway. And if you think about it, the Batista, Speedway Campbell, we didn't even talk about Sunshine Mile, but this is a project called Broadway Tucson at the old Volvo site. This is going to be another big thing on the east side of downtown. The Maloney Pad and the Ronstadt Center, if you think about that, we haven't even started to see development in downtown. What you're seeing now is just the precursor. So I invite you to keep checking out what's happening. I'm going to give you some sites where to go, but I want to remind you that we don't know what's really going to happen at the outset of this the other end of this pandemic. So I invite you to head over to TucsonHelpingTucson.com so you can help support these small businesses, keep them in business. Every dollar we raise goes back into the community. Since the middle of March, there's been about $200,000 through this Community Investment Corporation, which is our partner in this, back into the community to help small businesses with loans, grants, and investment strategies. And if you don't want to donate, head over to Why I Love Where I Live and buy one of these really cool Tucson Together t-shirts. They're $25 and they're donating all the proceeds for this Small Business Relief Fund. And if you want to stay in the know about what's happening, head over to these websites. Downtown Tucson Partnerships Economic Development blog is fantastic. Rio Nuevo organization, rionuevo.org, is very transparent about what they're spending their money on. Tebow, this gentleman right here, this is one of the best websites in Tucson. If you're looking for what's happening all across the city, I would highly recommend you check that out. My website has great stories for the last 3 years with some of the change makers in Tucson. And if you ever want to get a hold of us or our business development person, Haley, you can go to tomstoolsforagents.com with all of that info. Fantastic. And I do want to let you know that on May 8th, we're going to do this full presentation. It's a little bit more interactive. We can have a little bit more of what Pat Mancuso says, energy. We can, but I invite you to join us for that on May 8th at 11. If you're interested, Haley is my business development person. She's going to throw her email address into the chat room there. And we'd invite you to take this tour a little bit slower and go into some of the stories and interconnections of how all this stuff works. And thank you.
Thanks so much, Tom. We really appreciate your time. I hope you guys got some great value out of our quarterly meeting today. Are there any questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I was trying to write down where to go, why I love, not sure about the t-shirts. Yeah.
Why I love whereilive.com.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I have a question. The townhomes that are going to be built, do you know what type of style they're going to be?
They're masonry. That was a requirement for the historic designation. So they're going to be masonry. They are around 1,500 square feet, $500,000 up sales wise. It's Miramonte has them, and you can. They probably have them information out on MLS. If
Okay.
not, you can email us and we'll connect you over there.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome.
And thank you for everything. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think you'll get, Tom, you're going to have a couple busy tours after this. So I'm excited to go on, and I know several of our agents are as well. So
We talked to Colleen as well about putting one together, and we'll definitely.
yeah, keep us in the loop, and we're ready to go. Tucson is an exciting place to live right now. So any other questions?
Just a point of clarification, Jay, the website is Why I Love Where I Live.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said that. I'm Southern. I can't read or.
Just making sure, because I typed in what you gave us and it was not it. So I just.
Correct. Why I love where I
live.com.
Thank you, Lisa. Fact checker.
That, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Tom.
Yes, thanks, Tom. Great to
All
see
right, thanks,
you.
Tom. You guys have a great day. Make it a great Friday, and be productive today, and stay safe and healthy. We love you guys. Talk to you later.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone. This was great.